Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, deliver shills, doubts, serfs, peasants, vassals, merchants of death, arms dealers. I'm a useful idiot. Today I want to talk about the fact that now we have massive amounts of arms being shipped into Syria for the rebels. And an interesting story behind this. And of course, this is no news to anybody that's actually been following the events going on in Syria and all the bordering nations. Of course, through proxies and umbrella groups and through secret channels, massive amounts of arms are being funneled into the rebels into Syria. So that's not a big surprise. But what is interesting is something that's come out recently, and particularly interesting in light of the fact that, of course, there was an announcement just recently that non-lethal assistance and training will be provided by the United States and some European countries. And there's an arms embargo against European countries supplying arms for the Syrian opposition. But now the United States is also going to be supplying armored vehicles, which technically, I guess, is non-lethal assistance, but they're also going to be supplying with body armor. And as some pundits have pointed out, John Kerry, our new Secretary of State, apparently has a lot of investment in body armor companies, so he's going to make a huge profit in shipping body armor to the rebels in Syria. But what's interesting is that according to an article in a Croatian newspaper, since last November 2012, 3,000 tons of weapons dating back to the former Yugoslavia have been sent in 75 plane loads from the Zagreb airport, largely via Jordan, and then into Syria. And this story confirms growing visual evidence of weapons of Eastern European origin showing up in Syria and being seen in lots of videos. And the shipments are paid for by Saudi Arabia and then organized through Turkey and Jordan. And the guns come from Croatia, but also include other European weapons, including weapons from Britain. So this is how it works. Essentially, the United States is upping the ante using Saudi Arabian money, buying a surplus from a European nation of Croatia, and using old stockpiles there, and then the U.S. Secretly, through CIA efforts and all their cronies, use all these proxies to disguise the trail of money and the trail of guns as we ship weapons into Syria. And that's just how the real world works, so that's not a surprise to anyone either, I'm sure. There's British, French, and American advisors in all the neighboring countries, including Jordan, Turkey, and Lebanon. So something tells me those people were getting armed while they were getting trained in Jordan, Turkey, and Lebanon. And they're getting rocket launchers. This isn't just small arms. We're talking about rocket launchers, recoilless rifles, and M79 anti-tank weapons. So this is some pretty heavy-duty stuff. And a Western official told the New York Times that the weapons had been bought from Croatia by Saudi Arabia. And of course, that's their story, and they're going to stick to it. But we know what's really going on here. In fact, here's a couple of tidbits that would confirm why Croatia is interested in helping out the United States and Saudi Arabia in this Syrian operation, because Croatia is joining the EU on July 1st. And not only that, for the time being, Croatia, of course, is not subject to the European arms embargo. How convenient. So these weapons are being funneled into Syria by all the usual bad actors, all the usual bad players, and this is how it goes. And Western spokesmen, of course, say that the weapons will be funneled to only secular nationalist rebel groups. And as we all recall, that is the same thing they said about Libya, that the weapons would only be funneled to secular nationalist rebel groups. Well, good luck with that. I'm sure we won't be any more successful keeping them out of jihadis' hands in Syria than we were in Libya. So there's the latest. Another part of the clusterfuck going on in Syria right now, and more and more arms being shipped in. So there we have it. A pretty reliable source, and no reason to question the validity of this story. 3,000 tons of weapons in 75 plane loads being shipped in to Syria. So we can see some upcoming Syrian rebel successes, I'm sure. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.